Yeah? Turn me up a little bit, my friend. I want to feel that boom. My balls should quake. Kevin Spacey, Swimming with Sharks.
Kevin Spacey's a total weirdo.
He is a weirdo. Swimming with Sharks, great movie. Folks, I am Treez. I am here with my friend
Kid Chronic.
This is Ruthless Politics. We took a little break. We celebrated so hard from our 10th episode, our anniversary, our diamond episode, and we partied so hard. We took a huge break. We're going to go into season 2. We're going to call it and kind of do every 10 shows. We'll call it a new season.
Season 2, episode 11.
Episode number 11, second season starting, and we're going to jump right in. We appreciate everybody that stayed on board. And we're going to be more active again, as you know.
There has been a lot of action since we've been partying and off the air.
There's a lot going on.
We got a lot to cover, folks.
Personally, politically, physically. This guy here went through some shit, I got to tell you.
I just had a surgery, man.
So proud of it.
I even
saw his little thingies right by his thingy.
I showed these guys my stitches.
Yeah,
it's
man.
Cool.
Fuck yeah.
Stitches are cool.
Yeah, stitches get bitches. I got 2 right over my eye, baseball bat, and a coffee table when I was 5. Let's get into it. So what this our episode here we're gonna touch on, so everybody is aware. There's been a lot of news, as we know, but what's going on right now that's making the headlines is impeachment. Things are moving forward in that direction. Before we get to go over the list, we got impeachment, we got more of the 2020 candidates. Iowa's right around the corner. Things have definitely changed since the last time we broadcast in what's going on in the 2020 election. Katie Hill, a very fascinating, strange story about where people feel about privacy.
She shouldn't have
revenge
resigned.
Porn. Yeah,
should have stuck it out, Katie, you pussy.
Yeah, she probably could have. Got scared. Maybe there's some more she's trying to duck.
Fight harder, Democrats. Fight harder.
Yeah, she bowed out. Another Al Franken just fucking going down.
Yeah, they so quick to jump ship. So quick to jump ship.
And we're gonna get into al Baghdadi. The ISIS leader is dead, and whatever else we got time for. So let's jump in. Impeachment. This is definitely up your alley. This is what you've been hoping for.
The elephant in the room. I've been waiting a long time to impeach this guy, and it's not as exciting as I hoped it'd be, to be honest with you.
Well, not
I
yet.
wanted to just impeach him for the flat out being a Russian agent. Like, you know what I mean? For being a Russian asset. That's what I wanted to impeach him for. But this Ukraine thing, I guess I'll take. Whatever gets
I got a
guy.
question for you. If Ukraine and Russia hate each other, and there's no ideology the same, they're literally at war, how is this guy getting help from Russia and getting help from Ukraine?
Well,
and is anybody wondering how that's possible?
It's a fascinating relationship. So you've got to go way back, and that is actually the birth of fake news, misinformation, and the Russian bot campaign. So Russia needed Ukraine because it's a port, and there's not a lot of ports in Russia that aren't frozen. So they really needed that, and it was broke apart of the old Soviet Union. So basically what Putin wanted to do is he wanted to annex Ukraine or take it over, and so that's when he started the misinformation campaign, and they started pumping with Ukraine with all sorts of Facebook posts and different stuff about how great it would be to be part of Russia again and how they should never have left Russia and they should still be part of Russia. So it made it so much easier when Putin rolled the tanks into Ukraine because the Ukrainian people, a lot of them were on his side, so the government couldn't really defend against the annexation, and it was kind of a power play. Then Putin realized that he had so much power with this internet machine he'd built, he went and he did Brexit. And then when he did Brexit, I think he was like, why not try an American election? So all of this is all connected. It goes way back. And
so you think that Putin has a hand in England's shit, like fucking up what they're doing with the European Union?
Yes. You know, the day after Brexit, the most Googled thing was, what was Brexit? Because the motherfuckers didn't even know what they were voting for. All they'd seen is memes and propaganda, and they went and they voted. And now Britain has been a mess ever since. They can't even figure out how to leave the Union.
Don't you love Boris Johnson, though, and his hair?
Oh, my God. I saw a funny article I read the other day, and they said Boris Johnson looks like a toilet brush in a suit, and I kind of agree with that.
I like British comedy, and I like British... maybe it stops there.
I like British everything. Comedy, the accent, the culture, how they're grumpy as fuck.
They're not good looking, though.
They're not good looking. Bad teeth.
Overall.
Yeah, bad teeth and hygiene.
Teeth is an inbred thing.
Yeah, but I don't know about that. But I do.
Oh, you never heard that?
I never heard that.
Well, the royal bloodline like to always keep within itself.
Oh,
so
wow.
They're a very old civilization. So kind of why that's happened is inbreeding leads to other physical problems. But once it's stretched out very, very, very thin after generations, you're not having the other problems, but you just might have some other cosmetic problems.
I think the fact that they have a monarchy still is ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
genetic lottery winners. So I was born
I hate
somebody's
them.
son, so I'm like rich forever, and all you people have to pay for me. That's just stupid.
I can go on a
It's
20-minute
like government-funded reality television. Like
It's
in
awful.
America, we can talk about reality television
awful.
government. But yeah, it's bullshit.
And then what's
There's
even
no
funnier
such
is-
thing as a monarch. That motherfucker is the same person as anybody else that was born, and he deserves zero privilege.
The fact that that society bows to them and still allows it is shameful. And that's why I was a big Nigel Farage fan. He's not exactly a big fan of all that. And then, but what even scares me more is when Americans revel in the royal family.
Oh, and they do.
That upsets
even
me.
American news. Like I
Yes,
watch,
even American news.
They
It's
cover
sad. It's
everything
very
the
sad.
fucking royals do
Oh,
as
it's
if it's
sad.
important. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
We don't have one here for a reason.
Up until recently, the news used to also cover everything the church did. Luckily, we've kind of pulled them out of doing that. It used to be whatever the Pope and the church did, the news would roll out there and do it. But after
We
they,
don't like
after
that
they
anymore.
molested like the 50,000th kid, they were like, well, maybe we shouldn't cover these guys.
Well, there's also a concerted effort
you
to
know what I
destroy
do like
religion
before
in
we
this
get
country.
off Britain, which isn't even one of our subjects.
Oh,
that
yeah,
we've just
please.
gone off on.
We got impeachment.
This is what I like.
Yeah.
I like how they do Parliament. I like how they get up and
Big
they're
Ben
like,
Parliament?
and they like insult each other, and they're like, "Well, what the good gentleman from the right doesn't understand is that he's a fucking idiot."
Right.
You know, it's so good, dude. Just the way they speak and they get up and they like go at each other. I find it to be very effective.
It
you know,
is
they go through a lot
good.
of. The government there seems to be able to talk about things in a fashion that we don't really have available to Americans.
Yeah, they have heavy debate.
Yeah.
And it gets very colorful. I do. I've watched that for entertainment value. So whenever Americans get like that, it's really exciting because we're more civilized, if you can actually believe it. Our politicians are a bunch of fuckers and assholes, but there seems to be a civility more, which other countries
in
don't
America,
have.
everything is hashed out behind closed doors. By the
Right.
time you hit the floor, you already know what you're going to vote
Right,
on
right.
or how that vote's going to go.
You pressured everybody.
But
in
there,
what you
they
wanna
like
do.
roll into Parliament and just start arguing. So I
Yeah.
think that's more real. It's more authentic.
Oh, I think it totally is, and I think that a lot of these people, for whatever reason, wear this on their sleeve more. I think they seem to take it more seriously, and I mean, I know that there's corruption there like anywhere, but I have a feeling that there's way less. There's just not as many huge corporations there like there is here for everybody to be on the take.
Yep.
So I think there's more people that are genuinely for the people.